gentleman. Let's get it.
She wears a heart on her sleeve. He's a sensitive. She believes love conquers all. Even when the going is too tough. She likes holding
Playing today. What's going on, everybody? I probably should put these headphones on because if Zay was here, Zay would be like, Ted, put your headphones on. Zay would have my head. What's going on, y'all? How are you guys doing? Happy Thursday, happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Regina, my girl Regina Black, all the way from Dallas, Texas, is on. Hey, Regina. Gee, where are you? Are you in California? Where are you today? Gerard, he's always like traveling. And Dwayne, I see you. Where are you guys at right now? Holla at your girl. Tell me where you are. What city are you in? What state are you in? What you rapping? You know, I like to start off and see how everybody's day was. I like to see how your week was. This is the only way we get the chance to kind of bond. So how are you guys? Did you guys have a good week? Hi, Christopher. Howdy, sir. How are you? Thank you so much to the for joining. Welcome to the Making Me Matter radio show. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Quinn. I'm trying to catch all of y'all. You hear me? I want to make sure that I don't miss a beat. You guys taking the time to join me tonight, I definitely want to make sure that I make time for you. Hey, here he comes. Hassan's. What's up, Kirby? We got Hassan's Kirby in the building. What's good with you? I gotta show everybody. I got a new mug. So check this out, y'all. Oops, I keep hitting the microphone. So I got a new mug, everybody, and I am like so super. What's the word I'm looking for? Super. No, that too. I'm like so super girly. And let me tell you something. When I tell you I'm like a tomboy, but I am super girly. I love having fun. I love cutesy wootsy things. And so I got me a brand new mug. You guys like it? Look, I have been single. I've been married, and now Miss Thing is building an empire. And then on the inside it says, "Don't stop, get it, get it." How dope is that? Do you like that, Hassan? Yeah.
No. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Listen, it's good to see you guys out there tonight. I don't know if you guys get a chance. Make sure you follow 8 Squad Rebel Radio, because sometimes when I go on Facebook Live, it acts up. So if it starts acting up on the live, by all means, please make sure you go to the Making Me Matter radio page to watch us live, or you can go to 8 Squad Rebel Radio directly and watch us there as well. I need everybody, as many people as possible, to go about their business and share this video, because tonight it's going to be on and popping. When I tell you it's going to be on and popping, it's going to be on and popping. Hassan's trying to take my mug. What's up, G? Hey, Marianne, good to see you. Yeah, so I got my mug. I'm chilling right now. Who's excited about this mug is me. So look, do you guys
I'm
look?
Doing the dance for my mug.
What you doing? A dance for my mug. Doing a dance for my mug. Doing a dance. That's my peoples right there. Hassan's Kirby. Look, I want you guys to say hi. You guys look at Hassan's right here. Say what's up, good brother. Hassan's. I want Hassan's. Hassan's, look in the camera. Look over there. Look up there, and tell everybody who you are, what you do, and pretty much why I got you here.
Well, my name is Special Ed, and I'm a super duper star. Every month
I get a brand new car.
Yeah, still want more. Kind of find out how to school.
Nah.
Look,
I was ready for you. You better keep going. Y'all see how crazy he is. Oh man.
Listen.
Oh man.
I am H.L. Kirby. I'm the crisis intervention specialist, motivational speaker, and author and community activist. Mm-hmm. And I love what I do.
That's a good thing. What do you do?
I'm a crisis intervention.
What does that mean?
Well, what crisis is? Well, yeah, you know, because somebody else asked me. So what do you do really? Well, what I do is I deal with any type of trauma that's in our community, dealing with escalation versus de-escalation. Mm-hmm. I try to get people to get to their inner self. So once you get to your inner self, you're able to deal with some of these traumas that we've been facing in our lives, whether it's mental health problems, addiction, behavioral disorders, domestic violence. So those are the things that I work on. So I have clients on all the spectrums.
Oh, that's dope.
So
That's awesome. Well, let me tell you something. Before we even get started, okay, I got a couple of other people to shout out, and then I'm going to go ahead and let you give some shout outs to some people on your page. I see my girl, Shakia. Hey, Kia. I see you. I see you. Santa, buenas noches, mi corazón. Go, Santa. Go, Santa. Hey, Abby. I see you. You guys know we are full of energy here at the Make Me Matter radio show. So I went ahead and shouted my peoples out. You got anybody you want to shout out real quick?
Yo. Y'all know what it is. It's too many people. It's too many people.
I know, and they just keep rolling in.
I don't want nobody to be like, yo, you
forgot
such
me.
Such how you shout
me out.
I love everyone who continuously watch me on my live streams, who support A Squad Rebel Radio, who support the work that I've been doing out here in the community for these many years. I give a shout out to all of you because you didn't have to believe in me.
That's dope.
So I give a shout out to all of you.
Well, thank God for everybody that tunes in, that chimes in. It's a blessing. It's a blessing. It is truly a blessing. Why does it say low network connection? I don't even know why, but it is what it is. So, anywho, here's what I wanted to talk about tonight. Tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about the part 2 of ShutDown The ShutDown. Oh, snap. It's time to snap back. And the purpose of, do you like that?
Oh, snap, it's time
to
snap back.
It's time to snap back. And the purpose of that was based on a letter that I received. Well, not that I received, but that I saw on Facebook. It was a letter that I saw on Facebook, and it was talking about how Snap, this particular person, their Snap was going to stop on January 21st. And for the month of February, there will be no SNAP benefits. None. How do you not have any SNAP benefits whatsoever? None. No SNAP benefits at all. No. So people are not going to be able to eat, pretty much, that are on SNAP benefits.
Get a case of oodles and noodles, some peanut butter and jelly, some bread. We gotta fight back.
Right. But that's the purpose of this.
Sometimes fighting back, snapping back mean you gotta snap your pocketbook back too.
Well, and be humble about it. Listen, there's nothing wrong with eating peanut butter and jelly. It's my favorite sandwich. Nothing wrong with egg salad. Nothing wrong with tuna.
Love it.
Listen, what? Nothing wrong with that. You have to do what you have to do. So we're going to talk about that, but I want to get into some news. I'm glad my Yoli is on. Let me tell you guys I don't know if you guys heard. Did you guys hear on the news how Governor Cuomo in New York is legalizing abortion for up to full-term birth?
Well,
ain't no well.
No. We got to look at the picture here.
What's the picture?
The bigger picture that it has always been a plot and a plan to find a way to commit a genocide against a race. And the genocide has never changed from abortion, whether it's the birth control and everything, has always been to keep our African American people from populating. So we got to look at the real reason behind it. So now, when you have more and more African Americans aborting that such things, he's gonna make it legal. He don't care when you kill a baby, just kill the baby. But it sickens me. First of all, I'm not for abortion, period. That's just my own personal choice. True. But then when you say that you're okay with legalizing, he's legalizing abortion up until birth, that to me is just straight. Abortion is just murder to me. And everyone looks at it differently, and it's okay if you look at it your way. I got my point of view, and I look at some things my way. But when you sit up here and feel comfortable as a government official saying you're going to legalize abortion to as far out as to birth, that's a problem. Do you guys see a problem with that? Let me know if you don't think it's a problem, or if you do. What are your thoughts? Remember what we said last week about principle over personality?
Yes.
We taking it personal.
Is that what I'm doing?
We're taking it personal because this has been happening since the beginning of time with African Americans. How many at birth abortions have our people's been having? Not by choice.
Well, I was telling somebody at work today about how it's unfortunate that people use abortion as a form of birth control. And I think that's where the problem is. Abortion is not a form of birth control. But
it does become a form of birth control, because after so many abortions, you can't have none anyway.
You can't have it.
So it is another form of birth control.
Yoli just said that that's murder. Hey, Angie, Yoli just said it's murder. So what's the difference between aborting a baby that is almost full term, that is like pretty much ready to be born, than shooting somebody in the street?
There's no difference, but we commit abortion on our own self every day. We commit abortion on ourselves every day to the same degree. We kill our dreams. We kill people who we come in contact with. Mm-hmm. So we abort people. We abort other people's babies. Somebody share an idea with you, you'll kill it before it even takes birth. So we got to look at this. We got to look at some of the ways that we think about things and look at the principle instead of the personality. What he's doing is something that has always been done to us. So by him legalizing, it ain't no different than all the people who been incarcerated for marijuana. Now they legalize it. So what happens to those people?
But see, here's my question now. Now I'm about to say something, and I'm curious to see what direction it's going to go in. What all of a sudden is the reason and justification for making marijuana legal?
Money.
When people been smoking marijuana, selling marijuana, been doing this for years. What is it now that is it just money?
It's money. It's money. Whenever the government or find a way to tax things, that's where, see, they didn't know how they was going to tax it or control it at one time. Just like the alcohol. It's no different than alcohol. Alcohol wasn't always legal. Now alcohol is legal. But look what it took. Once they found out how they could, when they found out how they could tax something, that's when it becomes legal. Because now, instead of the poor people who was making a little money off of it,
right,
now they're able to capitalize off of it. You know how much it's going to cost to have a dispensary?
Right.
We're not many of us going to have dispensaries. Many of us would love to have some dispensaries or start growing stuff in our backyards or whatever the case may be, but it's about taxation. And that's what we don't get. Everything right now is about money. The government who shut down is about money. And why we've been taken from the have-nots forever, so it don't make no. They're not going. We don't look at them as humans anyway, so why not continue to crush them down? And that's where we have to come in and start uplifting each other and start really coming together.
So what is it going to take to actually start uplifting each other and really coming together?
Getting an inner understanding of yourself and why you was created. What is your purpose? I don't care if you serve Allah. I don't care if you serve Jesus. I don't care who you serve, but serve something.
Listen. Serve who was it? My dad and I were just talking about how you can't serve two masters.
You can't.
But Bob Dylan did a song saying you're gonna have to serve somebody
someday. That's it. You're gonna have to serve somebody someday. And see
the demon look.
And that's what's happening. And it's sad because we have so many different things out here that it's constantly confusing our young people and our older people. Everyone is confused. Like, I just had this conversation today, and for those who study, I'm gonna challenge you because I've been challenged. They say that Jesus came and died for all of our sins, right? Mm-hmm. However, Jesus said, I came to fulfill the law, not do away with the law. So how can Jesus die for all of our sins, yet we was born into sin and shaping in iniquity?
But you know what? He's the only one that can do that.
No. He showed us about, what's the word? Making atonement.
Right.
That was, and somehow along the line, we done took it somewhere else.
Well, that's because of who we are. Oh, come on in here, Pastor Mark.
I done struck a nerve. I done struck a nerve over there.
Speak truth.
Yes.
Speak truth.
Jesus is the atonement.
Okay, but are we still after Jesus died, after Jesus came and died for us? So did that mean everyone born after that shouldn't be born in sin and shaken in iniquity then?
But that's impossible because Jesus is also no. Jesus is also the reason for salvation. So when Pastor Mark, come on in. Come on in. Wait, come on in for a second. You got a second?
Ain't that? Oh,
Y'all want to make it quick?
They gonna make it have a second. They gonna have a second for this, y'all.
Can we get Pastor Steve and Pastor Mark on the other side of the screen?
Yeah.
Because this is getting a little good.
They gonna have
Look, this is getting gooder and gooder and gooder. Because, okay, I don't know if you guys heard, the purpose that we're getting with the part that we're talking about right now is because Governor Cuomo has legalized full-term up to full-term abortion. I mean, birth. Abortion for up to full-term birth. And to me, that is just outright murder. I don't understand how we've gotten to this point. And then we were talking about legalizing not full-term birth.
What we could go full-term. We could talk about born and getting killed. We could go to the Bible when they said write the blood over the blood post so the death angel and all that stuff wouldn't happen. So this has happened in biblical times when they was going around killing the babies. So this is nothing new for their culture. We's looking at it as something new because we don't study,
right?
And we forget what happened already. And that's right. It's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. Yeah, I get that.
But what's happening now in the culture is that we are living in the day of Antichrist. So we are not. When you talk about Christ, most people don't understand that the starting point when you talk about Christ is spirit, not flesh. That's why it says in John 3, that which is flesh, and that which is spirit is spirit. That's why Nicodemus came to Jesus by night and he asked him, Jesus said, you must be born again. He said, not of the what, but of the spirit. He said, can a man go back after he's already born? And Jesus said, no, you got it all mixed up. I'm not talking about that type of birth. I'm talking about a spiritual. So what's happening in the culture is that when you leave a man or humanity to themselves, is that we are self-destructive. Every culture, when you look back, the Greeks, the Roman, they become self-destructive because they do what comes to their imagination, and only thing that in their imagination is wickedness.
Okay, so let's stay right there. Let's stay right there with this wickedness and everything. Because see, anyone who knows me knows. See, they say study to show thyself approved, right? Okay, so now let's look at what's going on right now, because this is really about shutting down the shutdown.
Right. Tonight's topic. Tonight's topic for everyone's
shutting down.
It's
shutting down the shutdown. What's going on with the government, right?
It's shut down the shutdown, and snap, time to snap back. Because I saw a letter on Facebook that someone received stating that their SNAP benefits stopped as of January 21st.
Right.
Meaning they will get no vouchers for food in February.
Right.
Okay. So now let's get there, because before doing this snap back thing, let's snap back on something. I recall a couple of days ago it was bone chilling cold outside, right? Right, bone chilling cold, right? So if we're supposed to be about our Father's business, right? Why so many church doors was closed?
Because.
Did I hear crickets in here?
No, I'm
allow somebody to answer the question.
I said because while churches are called to do good, okay? It says especially those who are of the household of faith. So while you can do good and while you can help, there are other people there have to be infrastructures that are put in place for you, because I'm from Brooklyn. Okay, so my uncle's church there on Murder Avenue between Tompkins and Marcy.
Oh, you was really in Brooklyn.
And right there where Jay-Z was in Marcy. So I used to have a basketball league. I used to go outside the doors, get those kids from the streets, play a basketball league with the Marcy, Tompkins, and the Sumner houses, right? I used to have a food pantry. We would feed 150 people a day, every day. This is not just like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and give them 35 families food packages to take home to survive for maybe 2 weeks. So that God has called us to do that. But even while you're doing good, there has to be an infrastructure. So I had the wisdom, the wherewithal, the skill set to write grants, to get money, to cover that. Now there's enough money in the world.
Absolutely right.
So nobody have to be hungry.
But it shouldn't be defined just solely to the church.
Right.
And we all
Right.
have an individual accountability
Right.
to uphold, which is honestly, I'm not trying to be funny, which is why
Right.
I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm making me matter. I might not
Right.
be able to feed the masses, but somebody gonna be fed. So
Right.
we still have an individual accountability.
Right.
Not only if, and we can't say why were the church doors closed.
No,
Closed. I'm sure.
Slide this in.
Come on.
If some do some and some do some, it won't be so much on some.
Say so.
Well,
Say
that-
it again.
Job done.
And that's what the whole thing is.
Right.
Because right now, and trust me, I'm very transparent, and I stand firm on what I say out my mouth, because I'm out here every day in the community, and I believe right now with what's going on with this governmental shutdown, this is time for people to show and prove and step up. We said this last week.
Absolutely.
We said this last week, and I'm going to challenge, and I'm going to personally challenge. Yes, I go to Mount Vernon Baptist.
Right.
That's my pastor, and I'm going to challenge Mount Vernon Baptist. I'm going to challenge Chosen Generation, and I'm going to challenge a couple of other pastors who I know that they won't have no problem doing it. If it's presented,
Right.
So and we don't need 1,000 churches doing the same thing. But come together, because everywhere you go right now is a church somewhere.
But
Right.
but here's my thing, and it's not just the
churches. It's
we
the
have
messages
synagogues.
too. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
we have synagogues,
Right.
temples,
Yes.
Right.
because at the end of the day, let's just deal with humanity.
Yes.
Right.
I think sometimes that's
Right.
what we get away from. We
on.
get away from the simple fact of
Right.
humanity,
Yes.
and we end up categorizing. And when you start categorizing about what the church should be doing,
Right.
it isolates, and
Right.
then that still brings
Right.
forth more division. What are we doing together collectively as people? Just because we're human,
Right.
so why can't we individually,
together.
you and I coming together,
Right.
individually, you and I, you and I, or
right.
all of us, that can
Right.
bridge something.
Part of
Right. Remember what
Greatly.
you just said, and I said earlier. Said the Bible says, "Do good to all, especially those who are the household of faith." A lot of churches do take care of a lot of their members. You got to realize that a
Right.
lot of people go there and they put in maybe if you come in and you have public assistance and you pay offering and you paying your $10, and somebody has a six-figure job, and then of all that's in the pot, you help to pay that person's rent, you help to send their kids to college. Churches do that. So,
Absolutely.
So for you to say that, I understand that, but here's my challenge to you as a pastor. Here's my challenge to you. When you do that and you say that for churches, you have to be willing and able to help them to establish an infrastructure to sustain that type of ministry.
Absolutely.
Because you can't just open your church doors or church or synagogue.
Why?
Wait, because I'm going to tell you why. Because you open your doors to people who are unregenerated, they're going to wipe you out of everything.
Did Jesus do that? Did Jesus do that?
No. In Jesus' day, Jesus was out
But
in
he didn't do that.
No, in Jesus' day, Jesus was out in the street. Ain't nobody stealing no dirt, bro. You understand that? Nobody's stealing no dirt. Do you understand that?
Thank you.
It's a different day and time. We have things in the church that we beautify the church to glorify the Lord, and things in the church or synagogues, they are valuable. People know that, and they take those
But
things.
see,
And they steal those things and they go sell them.
If we want to go there, I don't think that's a good thing to do. Talk about we pay more for a church than a person homeless.
No, but come out of
No,
that, come out of that traditional mindset.
Exactly.
Come out of that traditional mindset of your
I
definition of church, because we are the church.
Exactly.
So the church, number one, is a living, breathing organism made up of faithful, born again believers, blood washed folk. So we can be more effective, me, you, and Overseer Diva, as opposed to pointing someone per se to a church that's not open. We can form a organism, right? And bring manifestation of whatever it is that you're talking about need to be, which would be if a person's hungry. If I got a few dollars, you got a few dollars, and he got a few dollars, we can at least either feed them We can feed them a fish, or we can teach them how to fish.
Right.
Well, right
Wait,
now with this
pause.
governmental shutdown,
Pause.
And you
Wait,
keep infrastructure.
Pause, because you talked about something. We're talking about helping. So now, are you saying being it was just frigid? I'm using that example you used. Being it was frigid the other day. Are we just talking about helping that day because it was freezing to keep them from freezing to death? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a start.
okay.
And that's all that matters. That's a start. It don't stop there.
Right.
You
Right.
gotta
Right.
remember
That's right.
because here's the other piece you got to remember. God, one plants, the other waters,
Right.
and God gives the increase. We may
Right.
do
Right.
our part, which was the first
Right.
part of their journey when it was cold. Somebody
Right.
else in their life on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday.
Right.
As long as we do our part, that's what matters.
Right,
bro.
and I have
That's
to
what
take.
matters.
I'm gonna say this comment. I have to take this prayer call. We're in our 21-day consecration, and I'm gonna come back because this is good. But I'm talking about infrastructure, right? So my principal, Outback Cook, Westside High School, he went out, solicited PSE&G corporations, got the washing machine and so forth. So the infrastructure's there. I start a human rights club this year with my students. They're eager and they want to help. So we come up with a concept. Okay, let's on King Day of Service, let's open up the laundromat for the community, send out a blast to all the parents, and they can come and wash clothes.
On King Day?
Yeah, we did that. Day of Service. That's because why were we able to
On
do
King
that?
Day.
Because
Why it had to be on King Day?
No, because King Day is a day of service.
That's why.
It's supposed to be a day of service.
Okay.
Okay. And now, as a result of that, now they want to continue and do it bi-weekly. Now because Principal Cook established an infrastructure.
Right.
Now, some did some. One planted, one watered. But God is giving the increase. So there are so many people. There's no lack of resources. But in resources, you got to have one, relationship. Two, you have to have a dialogue. Come, let us reason together.
Yes.
Relationship and reasoning, and then you can do so many amazing things.
Right.
But the reason why we don't is because there are so many other things that get in the way of what we can do, and then we start looking through
And what are those things? And what are those things? Because right now, with shutting down the shutdown, we need to know what those things are so we can make this right for these people who can't. They're not getting any food stamps or anything next month.
I'm gonna send you to my beloved brother.
So
right
that's
here.
what we need to do.
All right, and we're gonna talk. I'm gonna come back in a few minutes, and we're gonna talk about it.
We
what
need to
can
know
do.
how we going to help these young ladies in these shelters. How to help all these people who depend on these monthly benefits who not getting anything next month. Nothing. That's what this is. How do we shut down the shutdown and help other people right now? How do we come together as a masjid, as a church, as a synagogue, as all the people who are looked at as the rocks of the community or the pillars of the community? How do we come together now, even in our own families? Even in our own families, how do we say, you know what? Yeah, I know I cursed your butt out on Thanksgiving and on Christmas because I got a little tipsy or whatever, and we ain't talking. But right now, we need to unify.
Right.
We need to unify. It's been so much disunification, so much ununification in our communities for so many years that right now, if no other time, this is the time we have to shut down the shutdown. And what you say earlier, snap back.
Oh, it's called Shut Down the Shutdown. Oh, snap! Time to snap back. Because so here's the thing. Okay, we have got to. If my neighbor is, forget not even just a federal employee, but if my neighbor is on, or if I know someone who's on Section 8, dealing with affordable housing, low income, because you see things on the news saying we got to worry about and focus on the federal workers. What about those who are not federal workers but are getting
benefits?
They're getting the benefits, right? And so, what are we going to do? I said, you know what? I am not rich. I do not have like a whole lot of money.
Come on.
But what I'm going to do is try to do something. I may not have a humongo cowabungo from down under platform, but to God be the glory. I have a platform where somebody can be blessed behind it.
Yes.
And then that's why I tell people, do me a favor, go ahead and share this video. Let somebody know what's going on.
Right.
Share this, because you never know. Somebody else could say, hey, you know what? I saw what was going on. I'm making me madder. What can I do to try to get something? Because at the end of the day, I'm in need.
Yes.
I'm in need.
Let me just share the key of what you're saying is a willingness to help and to put minds together to make it happen. Not become so emotionally outraged that we're talking at a person, but we have to learn how to talk to one another.
Right.
Principle over personality.
In order to get the desired results. Like you said, in order to bring a masjid, bring a Baptist church, a Pentecostal, a Reformed church, to bring the unity of the faith, meaning houses of faith together, that takes dialogue. You just can't come up in there any old kind of way and think you're going to get results.
Right.
You have to come with an agenda, meaning...
How many more years must we wait for this dialogue?
Bruh.
While our people are steady suffering.
Well,
but can I make a statement about that? I'll let you go.
Okay, when you say how many... See, I don't know in terms of those dialogues that you've experienced. For you to say that, it means you haven't had some of those experiences.
Not true. Because, see, I come from an experience where, I come from the system. I come from out of the system where
Which one?
Muslim, Christian, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, all of us, we eat. We sit at the table and eat together, and we dialogue together. Even out here today, the same brothers who was inside with me behind that wall, we still dialogue. We don't look at each other as about we don't define each other by the religion or our beliefs. We define each other as men.
So stay there for a minute. So if you define yourself and you've created some koinonia, with that koinonia, it's important for you to have movement.
And that's what we've been trying to do.
Yeah, not concern yourself with somebody else is not doing. Take the ownership of what you can do.
And that's what we're trying to do.
I would encourage you to continue to do that.
Oh, definitely. Definitely is going to get done. Definitely is going to get done. But it's going to take more than this little fraction now. Right now, we need us all to come together.
See, you always got to have a spark, beloved.
Bro, we had a spark. We had a spark. The same way we just celebrated Martin Luther King. That was a spark. That was a spark years ago. Okay, Martin Luther King is gone. He did his thing. He left it for us to do. And what are we doing with it? They say that we are still in the same position right now that we was back then. Okay, we look like it may seem like we come far, but we're still in the same hell. And these are the things that we really need. See, me, I don't mind addressing the realness of this stuff. Right now, it's real. This stuff, people didn't believe it could happen, probably, when they was talking about this governmental shutdown and who was going to affect. And let me tell you two people who people forgetting about right now in this governmental shutdown. The kids and the seniors. You don't hear nobody talking about these seniors who already can barely make it. Now you're going to take what little they have. What's going to happen?
Well, also you got to remember it depends who you hear and who your ear is attuned to. What network, what media are you hearing? Because we know
I'm in the streets. I'm in the streets. I'm getting a direct source.
Right. So right now, so when it's direct, then the solution is always a call to action. So what's good to be doing about the shutdown and SNAP and all that, what you just said, lay out some action plans, some 1, 2, and 3 of things that you choose to do.
That's what we be doing.
Yeah,
that's what this is. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
That's absolutely right.
That's what we're doing.
Amen. And I set myself in agreement with it, because then those that will be in agreement with you. That's how we get the work done. That's why I said if some do some.
Right.
Some do some.
But somebody's got to do something.
Got to do something. We all got to do
Somebody's got to do something.
Listen, until we all understand we play a part, we stay apart.
Ooh! Why aren't these claps working for me? Good God, today. That was good. Say that again, sir. Because that right there was a total drop the mic. The claps aren't working. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but it's not working. So I'm like so mad that I can't even. Oh, wait. There we go.
There we go. We got it.
Oh, come on in here, Dr. C.
Say it on his mic. Until we all understand we play a part.
Okay.
We stay apart.
Okay.
That totally went through me. Yes, sir. Let me tell you something. That right there was Pastor Mark. Do you understand? That one there? That's hey. When I tell you, we got Dr. Carla Cook in here. So wait. So now what? Yes.
Yeah. Y'all see what I started. Okay. Y'all see how I get down here, right?
We getting it all in.
One Soul Radio Show.
We getting it all in. And so tonight, now that Dr. Carla's here, but another thing I wanted to talk about real quick before we jump into what's really about to go down, because you, being from the community, Dr. Carla Cook, being a licensed therapist, this is going to be really, right, for the community.
For the community.
And then the pastor, it don't get no better than that.
Okay.
But I read something today, something else that I read, showed that, you know what, Dr. Seaton, you're gonna have to log into Facebook because I can't get you on the screen up there.
Yes, okay.
But another thing that we read on the news today was that I read on the news was that there was a representative. Check this out. I hope I can still find it. There was a representative that literally said, he was a billionaire, who said that families need to take out, and I said this last week, families need to take out loans.
Yeah.
How dare you, and how rude is it for you to come out your face and say that families need to take out loans in order for them to survive? None of this would be happening, honestly, if we didn't have a jacked up president, and if we didn't have these hellish people that are so greedy to build a daggone wall. I mean, we can't even take care of domestic violence on the home front, and we're gonna sit up here and worry about people coming over. Half the people that are coming over or whatever, I'm just gonna say it like this: we're our own problem right where we are.
Exactly. And that's why, for real, this was going to happen whether Trump was in the office or somebody else. It was bound to happen. What is written to annihilate a person is already written.
Right.
This is bigger. See, this is bigger than what we're looking at. We're so busy on the Patti LaBelle pies and the commercials that we missing the main picture here. And it was going to, trust me.
Did you say Patti LaBelle pie?
Yeah.
Don't be coming for Patti.
Oh.
Wait, anybody that know me knows I love Patti LaBelle.
I ain't say that about Patti LaBelle herself. I'm talking about how we get so we get so off track. Okay, well, just how we got off track with the R. Kelly thing.
Right, it's a distraction.
There's so many things that distract us from doing and being who we need to be. Then when stuff like this happens, we lost. We're lost. We're mentally right now lost. And we should not have been there. We should have been prepared years ago. We celebrate Martin Luther King birthday in his thing on his celebration, but we should not still be celebrating when we should be moving ahead. We keep looking back when they left the blueprints. Why are we not moving ahead?
Because we choose not to, and a lot of times we get to this place where we want people to move for us. And I'm not trying to be funny.
No,
if you want to make moves, you got to move yourself. You cannot sit back and expect people to create something for you.
You need to drop a bomb on that one. You need to drop a bomb on that.
If you want to see something done, you have got to move and get it done. And then here's the thing. Okay, thank you, Holy Ghost. I'm gonna give y'all an example. 4 years ago when I did my Christmas giveaway? Do you remember when I did the Christmas giveaway with my mother?
I do, yeah.
I did a Christmas giveaway. I started off with $250 or $200. I said, I'm going to just give one person $200. But matter of fact, I won't give them $200. I'll go ahead and do a $200 shopping spree for them. People started left and right all over the country entering to win this giveaway that I was doing. When people started seeing that I gave my own money, I started getting people saying, what can I do to help?
Come on.
What can I do?
Thank you.
One of my girls who might still be on this live donated to a shelter out in Delaware. Somebody else said, Tiffany, I have my own jewelry line. I can donate jewelry. Boom. Someone else said, you know what? I got a bunch of toys. I can donate that. We ended up giving out well over $500 worth of gifts. Clearly because it started with one person saying, this is what I'm going to do. It's not a lot. I'm just going to do it. And it's a domino effect. This is what we are doing right now.
Snapback. Yeah, that's
with
what
the
we have to do.
Turner said, wish I was there.
Yeah, that's what we have to do with this, because you set it off last week. You set it off last week, and people done reached out to me. How can I help?
Wow.
How can I help? And before this shutdown even went down, we had Ron Curry from Perry's Funeral Home. He just did a concert at the church Sunday with William Murphy, and the proceeds are lined up to go to the Apostle House, to the Shani Baraka Center, to the Winona's house, and to a sorority. And see, this is how it go. He didn't foresee that it was going to be a governmental shutdown when he already started making preparations to help our hurting people. And that's what it's about. It only take one. You started it last week. People done reached out. How can we jump on board and help?
But I want to just jump in.
And matter of fact, before you should be on. I think you want. Can you hear yourself?
No.
I want to go ahead and introduce you guys real quick. Hey, Marlon, good to see you. Yeah, this is Dr. Carla Cook. I want you guys to hear Dr. Carla, because can you hear me in your headphones?
Yes.
Okay, cool. This is Dr. Carla Cook. Dr. Cook is coming from a perspective of, I wanted her to come from like a mental health perspective as to what this shutdown is going to do to someone who is affected in the community. And it doesn't even have to be a specific community, because like I said last week on the air, and like I'm going to say again now, red, white, black, green. Right now, this shutdown has no color. It has no religion, has no sexual orientation. It has every bit to do with what we can do now to come together to benefit each other and to make and to shut down the shutdown by coming together as one community. So, Dr. Carla Cook, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell people about yourself real quick before you go.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Carla Cook. Hey. I hope you are already aware of the On Being Well radio program. It comes on at 8 o'clock right after Making Me Matter.
Yes.
And I am a psychologist. I have a practice in New Jersey, Sanctuary of Hope and Healing. I also am an emotional empowerment coach, and I'm just glad to be here tonight. But one of the things I just wanted to jump in before we even talk about, the impact on the people, although this is related to it, I was just kind of listening in as you were talking, and I think as you were talking about the fact of different things that are happening and what you did, I think that the dialogue about what is happening has to be louder and stronger, because part of this also is...
Come on now.
And this is psychological, because this is about a mindset. And sometimes when we continue to hear that we're not doing anything, or who's doing what, or nothing is happening, or why isn't this taking place, it's kind of like what you focus on is what starts to grow.
That's good.
There are a lot of things happening. There are a lot of people who are doing things individually. There are a lot of different pockets. Yes. I think part of it is, how do we begin to have a system where we can hear more about what's happening, so people who want to join in on things, they have an opportunity to do that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Right.
So let's, in terms of this conversation, in terms of what we're doing as a community, I do think to begin to have a shift and look at this from a positive perspective of what is occurring. Right. Let's lift ourselves up. Right. Because going back, it's always been about divide and conquer. Right. And this is old. This is a system that has been set up and put in place. And part of it is, let's pull ourselves down. Let's become our own worst enemy in this.
Right.
And so we have to also, as we are doing, set the dialogue.
Right. Yes. But not only in some systems are diabolical enough so that they who devise the system devise it with the intent and with the structure for them to prosper off of your misery.
Well, that... Yeah.
Right.
But
here's the solution, as Dr. Cook was saying. We already have the solution. We, as a cultural group of people, African Americans, we were used to caring for one another. Back in the day when we didn't, quote unquote, have so much, and phantom that.
Yeah.
So it's a shift of mindset. So now that we do have more, we can do more. But because of the mindset
we're doing less.
We're doing less. And the mindset is that we have brought into the culture the way of doing things as opposed to the way we were accustomed to looking out for one another. Like the community, the church, the beloved community raised you. The beloved community was the after school program.
Come on.
The beloved community was the babysitter. Big Mama and Big Mama's the cousins and we know some of the the ills. I think we're more equipped to have more healthier people that can take on those roles and responsibilities and do right and well. But we have to shift our mindset back to and remember the God who brought us, the God of our weary years, and the God of our silent tears who brought us thus far. He has to reshift our mindset to realize that if one is hurting, then we all are hurting. My mom taught me that me and my brothers, it's 8 of us. It was 8 of us, and I'm the youngest of 8. She said, if your brother or your sister is hurting, no matter how good you're doing, and you're not helping, then you're hurting. You don't realize it, but that's going to affect you. If something happens to your brother or sister, that's going to affect you. We can't take on this nonchalant attitude as a community, as brothers and sisters, as sisters in the Lord, as humanitarians, as Tiff said, just as humanity, that our next door neighbor, their well-being don't matter to us. No, because that's the person who's going to be robbing you for survival of the fittest. It ain't an issue of whether they like you or don't like you. They love themselves. That's why they're going to go out and start stealing, because they want to survive. It has nothing to do with whether it's right or wrong. It has to do with survival.
But you know what, Frederick Douglass, he said, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
Exactly.
And so we have to be a part of the solution.
We have to be part of the solution.
And it was also Booker T. Washington who quoted, shared suffering brings people together more than any type of thing. However, with this shared suffering that we have, I recall you said something about being healthy. What was the statement you just made about being healthy?
That we as a community, we are more healthier because our forefathers were 1 or 2 generations out of slavery. So they have a lot of post-traumatic stress that they're dealing with. So now that since we have been able to do better for ourselves, God has blessed us and helped us to get on our feet. You can live a better life. You can have a better, healthier self-esteem and self-image. Then you're not really perpetuating a lot of those ills and psychological dysfunctions in the family system.
But that's not true, because because you can't take a dysfunction and make it functioning overnight. Okay?
Right.
And when you say healthy, and when we talk about healthy, we were never healthy. And I don't think we're healthy now. And right now what's happening is more people are being made aware of their dysfunction and the healthiness. Whether it's mental, whether the mental. No. They're not healthy because they done found so many coping mechanisms, which keeps it unhealthy.
But as a pastor, I would say, if I don't care how much money. Look at Jeff Bezos. I don't care how much money you get. If you're not content and happy with yourself and have a relationship with Christ, you're going to wander and go here or there, and it becomes a business relationship. His statement, $137 billion with his wife of 25 years. We're going to continue on our partnership, our relationship, our business plan. I mean, that sounds foolish. Because marriage, nothing teaches you more than anything that somebody else matters besides you than marriage. So whether you agree with them.
So if you don't get married, then what? Because
no, but he did get married. He's been married for 25 years.
But listen to what you said.
And I'm not judging, because I got divorced. I got married when I was 19, and then I got divorced after 8 years. Because I was immature, because I didn't understand. But now my second marriage, we've been married 25 years. So, and I understand when I was a child, I understood as a child. But now, we all, quote unquote, we all are aspiring to get that wealth, right? So you may not, you'll be happy with what, a couple of $1 million. You don't need $137 billion, right?
No, but do you want to? I've learned how to be content in every state at an early age, because I know what it is to be raised and live in a house I know what it is to live on the streets, and I know what it is to live in a cell. So I know what it is to have and what it is to not have. So that's why, for me, that's why I do what I do. I would give out. You could tell if you told me right now, and I done did it many times. I'm walking down the street, and the guy say, "Bro, I like that tie you got on. Here, it's yours."
Hassan's, real quick. I want just real quick. I want you to give them. This is because I want, and then I need to jump into something because I'm expecting a call at 7:30. I want you to talk about a little bit real quick about how you being a part of the system for how long?
15 years.
15 years.
Longer than that, because I've been in and out the system since I was 14 years old.
But you did time for 15 years.
I did time straight for 15 years. Before that 15 years, I did 2 years. Before that 2 years, I did a year. And 6 months here, weeks here, months here. So I've been doing the system inside of a penal reform system for most of more of my life than I've been doing right and doing the stuff that I'm doing. So when I had to get into me, it wasn't that I had see, and this is what people say. They say you have to get, once you find Christ, you found Christ ain't never been lost. I was the lost one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was lost. I was lost.
Right.
Yeah. I was lost and I was messed, and I was so messed up. No one was able to see how messed up I was. In all the systems that I've been in and out of, no doctor, no psych, no one has ever set me down and said, Hassan's or Kirby, what's going on with you? Why are you so angry? What makes you so mad and bitter where you can go out and hurt someone? Nobody never seen that, because you know what I was able to do all those years? Put on a mask. And the mask, I can smile all day.
You were able to function in dysfunction. So am I wrong for saying, Dr. Carla, that when you function in dysfunction, it's almost like you're training yourself? You're training yourself to be something, not for the sake of yourself, but for the sake of other people. It's almost like you allow yourself, you live your life where your denial state becomes your reality.
You know, I think it's both. Definitely we're trying to show up and we're trying to put this mask on and we're trying to put on a good face and a good front. In addition to that, it's survival. We have to survive. And so,
But what was I surviving from?
You were surviving from the trauma of growing up, the trauma of life. I mean, life is challenging, and I don't know, where you grew up and what was happening. But a lot of times when I hear stories that, like, from a young age, I was a part of the system, that suggests that you were growing up in a rough neighborhood.
But that's just it. I grew up over here in East Orange. Like I just said, and East Orange wasn't bad back in those days.
Okay, so what about family, or was it just you? Was it just that you were going through?
It was 6 of us. See, when you're born and you don't understand who you are, and when you have a lot of brothers and sisters, it's hard for some of the siblings to find out really who they are, because they wind up being what everyone else is and never find out the real who they are. And so
you felt lost within your own family.
Forget lost. I ain't even belong. Forget lost. You can't be lost if you don't belong somewhere. If you don't know if you even belong there. So those are the things, CC, and I'm able to talk. I can pinpoint my trauma now. I can pinpoint it, and that's what I do every day now.
So what would you attribute that trauma to?
I attribute the trauma to a broken, a hurt family.
Okay.
A hurt family. Not even understanding what they're putting out on the kids. Like, I speak to the ladies at the Apostle House and other places, and I speak to them the way I do, because I know what it is to be going through the trauma right now that the kids are going through right there. By being in a shelter, I understand what it is when your mother is cursing at you like you're an adult. And we see, and we don't see no harm as an adult when we doing all this. Oh, sit your blank down, you stupid this. We don't see it, but it affects the child later on.
And that is what you're trying to survive. You
don't know if you're surviving because you don't know what you're surviving.
You may not label it as survival.
You did.
Exactly.
But what you are trying to do is get through life, to show up, to wake up, to still feel good about yourself, to protect yourself. You're protecting yourself.
Yes.
Right.
And I think that's part of survival. And I think that's something that we all have to do regardless of what our circumstances are.
Yes,
Some of us are coming from good environments, but there's still challenges that show up in life. So we're still challenged by that. So we have this protection. We have something that we need to do to get through life.
Yes. Right.
We need to be funny. You know, that a lot of the comedians will talk about the fact of that they came from a difficult background.
Yes.
And the way they survived is that they were funny. Or we hear
made
about
a joke about
the
it.
class clown, right? That's always the child who wants to be funny, or someone that's talkative. So we have to develop something about us to get us through life. Some of us become very quiet, become listeners, become observers. So it's not necessarily that it's something that goes south. Some of the strengths that we have are based on the fact that we were trying to survive our early life.
And not only that, but spiritually, the same application as with Moses, God hid him. So sometimes God hide us in our traumatic situations in these different cocoons of our experiences, if you understand what I'm saying. So the person who's the class clown, they're in this cocoon and they're hiding, but they're really in a lot of pain, but in order to peek out every now and then and leave that pain there and see some sense of like life that's different in that pain, that perpetual pain, that's the resilience. And sometimes when we're trying to find and get out of those dark places, those caves, the enemy, he sets up attacks and design attacks. And that's, I was saying this on
Did you say the enemy or the inner me?
The enemy.
The enemy outer or the inner me? The I in the R.
No, the enemy.
Inner the person.
Right. The enemy doesn't get into you until the enemy that's out of you speaks to the
inner
you.
me.
And then it's just like faith. It's just like faith. You receive it. You receive those words. The words are spirit. Words contain spirit. So when you believe what someone is saying about you, then you take on that image. You believe you're not good enough. You believe that you are,
Nah, somebody. We got music going on.
Somebody's phone.
Is that?
I mean, it sounds like my phone, but my phone is over there.
Oh, is
No,
the
it's
phone
not.
ringing?
Oh,
Oh, wait a
that's
second.
your call.
Somebody's
Wait a
calling?
minute.
Yeah.
The plug isn't in. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
But you know what? While you all
this.
are talking about that, and we kind of went back, but just to kind of bring it back to what we're talking about in the show, that there are circumstances that show up over time at different times in our life, not just during childhood. I know we have some children who are experiencing the result of the shutdown and all of the fallout from that.
Yes.
But even as an adult, as a parent, that it can trigger anxiety, it can
Right.
trigger
100%,
depression.
right.
And that was one of the things that Tiff
Right.
was talking
Go ahead.
about. Just what now occurs when life shows up, life happens at no fault of your own, right? This is just out of the blue. Somebody who decides that I'm going to make a point about this, I'm going to take the responsibility, and has no idea about how many people it's affecting. And I heard you all talking about, yes, it's affecting the federal workers. In addition to that, it's affecting all of us. It
Yes.
affects us indirectly.
Right.
And they say when America gets a cold, like as a community, I think it says if we get a fever or something like that, the flu, pneumonia.
Right.
And so it is definitely going to affect us. And I think part of what is going to be important is for us to pull together. You had talked about the fact that there are different things that different people are doing. The Making Me Matter show is doing different things. Is that the phone?
Yeah, that's the phone there.
Okay.
Hassan, can you pass me one? Let's switch headphones.
I'll come back.
Okay, you're on Making Me Matter. Who is this? Hello?
Hello.
Hey! Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Ev?
We heard a hello.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we heard a hello, but we can't hear her anymore. Ev, can you hear us?
Hi, this is Sister Evelyn Ferguson.
Hey, can you hear us okay?
Hey.
You can, Ev, it's Tiffany. Can you hear us?
Maybe I need to turn my phone off and just talk to you on this one because I can't hear you through the phone.
Oh, because we can hear you through the headphones. You sound
I'm
fine.
actually watching and I'm on a different phone.
Oh,
So she trying to do both.
oh.
She trying to multitask.
Let me find out you cheating.
She want to look at herself on the call. I'm messing with you.
She's looking at the wait, Ev, can you still hear us okay or no? I guess not. Ev, if you get a chance, hang up and call back.
Either that or she's switching over that phone because she said she was going to switch over.
Hello?
Because I hear her.
I can hear. She sounds fine.
And then you can hear something in the background.
Okay, listen, I'm going to hang up.
You was doing a lot in the background. We heard everything.
Ev, are you still there?
I'm going to call you right back.
Okay, call us back.
Something going on here that ain't right. The devil's a lie.
All right, bye.
That's just for y'all who can't hear it, who's on our live. That's the caller calling in, and she's going to call back.
And she's going to call back.
Let you know what's going on.
Yeah, that's Sister Evelyn Ferguson. She is one of my dearest friends, but when I tell you that girl there got a story, she got a story. I want her to, let's see, this is her here. Okay, can you hear us okay?
Hello?
Can you hear us? I hope she says yes. Ev, can you hear us okay or no?
Hello?
Hello?
Mm-mm.
Ev.
We bind and rebuke the enemy right now in the name of Jesus.
We hear you.
But we gonna make a way out of no way. Y'all doing real good, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Ev. What's gonna happen if you try the other phone?
One more time on my phone, and I took myself off of the live.
Okay.
Not watching it, and the enemy is still trying to play games. But we have power, dunamis power.
Can you try? Can you try? You're gonna have to get off the other live, I guess. Go ahead and hang.
And we hear you live.
Right. Go ahead and hang up from the other phone and call on the other phone. She hung up. She done prayed and hung up.
She heard that. She forget what y'all saying. We gonna.
Oh man.
So that's good, and that's good. But I don't want to forget the thought.
Right.
When you.
Oh, here she is.
I'm gonna remember it because it's something.
Ev, can you hear us?
Wow, this is really not working.
No.
Wow.
Well,
they're doing the good work of the Lord over there.
No, let me try something.
Making me mad already.
Why can't we hear her? Hold on, let me see
able
something.
to dial and put her through the...
Ev.
Okay.
Ev, can you hear us?
Girl, I can hear you now. I was just praying, honey.
Okay. Amen. So,
Girl, well, listen, no. Here's the deal.
Prayer matters.
Here's the deal. I got you on speaker. I can hear you. I got you on speaker, and I'm just going to put you next to the microphone.
Amen.
So here's what I want you to do real quick. I want you, do me a favor, Hassan. Hold the phone next to the mic while I type up something on Facebook. Ev, I want you to tell people who you are. Do me a favor real quick, because we have another caller coming in at 7:50. Tell everybody what you posted on Facebook on your page, because tonight we're talking about snap, it's time to snap back, and it was actually inspired by a letter that you had put on Facebook. Talk about that letter, and then talk about what you told me what you said in the video that you posted.
Okay, good evening, everybody. God bless you all, and thank you for this forum, which is doing a whole lot of good for those who care enough to be involved and to listen and to find solutions to what's going on here. I received a letter. I am a recipient of food stamps for my daughter only. I'm a part-time worker at a retail store, and I've been working for years, doing what I need to do to support me and my child. I pay rent, my portion of rent. I pay my own light bills, no help. I pay my own gas bill, no help. I do not have cable because it's a luxury. And when you're receiving help from the government, you don't have time for luxuries. You have time to live and survive. Because of the fact of my daughter's absent parent is supposed to be doing their part, which they don't do consistently, we don't receive food stamps for both of us. I receive enough for my daughter, who's 14, and who receives $16. That's 16.00, which they feel she's supposed to survive off of, and the Lord will make a way somehow. Okay, I received a letter that stated that there will be no food stamps given out, no SNAP benefits to those who are recipients of such in the month of February. So they gave them out early.
Yep.
Okay. I had a video going like the morning before, and it's just, God is just so amazing, because when you trust in him, when you look back over your life and see the things that he's brought you through, when you didn't have no money, when you lost your job, when you were on unemployment, and you thought there was going to be no way out of nowhere, there are resources where you can go to. When you trust and believe in God, he makes a way, and he shows you that he's going to make a way. To sit back and grow weary and well-doing, it does no one no good. None whatsoever. As far as where the help comes from, I saw on the feed, all our help comes from the Lord. And I believe that God is doing a thing where he's allowing things to happen for all of us to come together, like was mentioned on the show tonight. He's doing this to see who's faithful enough and who trusts him enough to come together and help each other as one. As one. So we all have rams in the bush. One of my rams, God bless her, came through immediately with no questions asked, because that's how we roll. And that's what it's about. Someone on the feed said, I hear a lot of talk, but I don't see no action. The action starts with us. We don't have to be on the White House to take action. We don't have to be protesting all that to take action. We can do that on our own, with each other and for each other. And that's what it's all about. Leading people to the resources that they can go to, the food pantries that give out food freely and all that good stuff. Clothes, food, whatever you need, hygiene goods, all that. That's what all of that is for. Times like these. And I'll let it be known, listen, I've been in a struggle. I have been the struggle. Been there, done that, all that good stuff. God still made a way. People got to believe and trust in each other. Am I my brother's keeper? Am I my sister's keeper? Are you really?
Come on.
Are you really? What you want to do to help the next person that can't do for themselves, after they've done all that they could? It's not just, oh my God, I ain't getting no food stamps, let me start calling people. No, you do all that you could. If you got to go down to the last heel of bread in your refrigerator,
come on.
Or on top of your refrigerator, or on the microwave, wherever you keep your bread, you've done all you can. That's when you've done all you can. And still, the resources are out there. People are out there to give. The Catholic charities, the St. Francis Church, your church, somebody else's church.
Come on.
We here, but we got to do it for each other and with each other. All that bumping the gums about, oh my God, look what he's doing. He's one person. Oh, Chief, I'm ready to speak in tongues. He is one person.
Go ahead.
He don't live with you. He don't pay your rent. He's doing a thing that God has ordained him to do, and he don't even know it.
Come on.
So what you do, you use the enemy as your footstool. You use him as your footstool, and you do what you need to do to get closer to God, to trust in God more, and to trust in each other. In the name of Jesus.
Evie, God bless you. Before you go,
taking us to church.
Evie, before you go, there's something I need to tell you. Why you saying?
I'm at right now, my lips shaking and everything. I'm ready to run.
Preach.
Evie, I just want you to know I love you. I have known you for over 20 years. I have always seen you struggle and never ask anybody for a dime. I know you've been a single mother. You have been faithful to church. I just posted on Facebook how you've taken the bus. You use public transportation to get to church, and you walk to work whether it rained, sleet, hail, or snow. You have been literally faithful. You've never asked anybody for a dime. And you talking about receiving $16 worth of food stamps. I just posted her Cash App on my Facebook page, and I'm going to tell you guys what it is. And I want everybody to go on Cash App, send her something. $2, $5, $10. Some of y'all got 100, some of y'all got 500. At the end of the day, this is part of snapping back. This is part of shutting down the shutdown. This is part of coming together and being the community that we need to be. This woman here doesn't sound like she's struggling. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. All we know is she's trying to stand firm. So here's what I put. We are surprising people. Tonight we're surprising people who are being affected by the shutdown. Tonight's surprise, the first one, because we have another one. Tonight's surprise is Evelyn Ferguson. She's a single mother, part-time worker at a retail store, and has been there for years. She takes public transportation to get to church, walks to work. Walks to work, whether rain, snow, sleet, or hail. She receives $16 worth of food stamps and is not asking anyone for anything. The Making Me Matter radio show is honored to say that tonight, Evelyn, I need you to stay home because somebody's knocking at your door at around maybe 8:30, something to 9, because they're giving you a month's worth of food. And we are going to go ahead and just rejoice in that. You're going to get a 1 month worth of food for your home. I want people to bless you. I went ahead and tagged you. I went ahead and put your Cash App, which is the $ Intercessor Ev, $ capital INTECESSOREV. And if you don't know English, it's INETESESSOREV. How about that?
Go ahead with yourself.
So what we're going to do is go ahead and be a blessing to her. Listen, it's not about me. It's not about one person doing this.
Right.
And it wasn't just me that did this. I got connected with other people, because if I can't do it, you best believe I'm going to look for somebody else that can help be a blessing. If I don't have it, you best believe I'm going to say, Pastor Diva, you got $10. Give me $10 so I could be a blessing to somebody. So, Evelyn, God bless you. I did not want to let you know, and you know it took everything in me to not open my mouth to you. But I watch how you serve God. I watch how you try to do what you need to do for your daughter. Not even just Nisha, but your other two that are grown. I watch how you love them. I watch how every single day on her Facebook page, she literally goes online and says, okay, y'all, it's time to pray. She does it around 9 o'clock, and I think she does it at the 12 o'clock hour, and she starts off, Our Father, and then everybody else comes on, and what do? Which art in heaven. And then they finish the Our Father prayer. They go ahead and finish the Lord's Prayer. So somebody please make sure that right now, I need as many people under the sound of my voice to please go and send her something. This woman's snap has stopped, but we are going to snap back and come together. Somebody said earlier, what are we going to do to put, where's the action? It starts here. This is what Making Me Matter does. Making Me Matter sits back and works. We go ahead to make people matter. We try to make people feel good. We try to do the right thing by other people so that they can be blessed and they can still have hope in the midst of hellish situations. God is still able, Ev. I need you to stay up. Don't fall asleep. Please make sure that you don't have on like anything like no sexy lingerie or nothing. Please look like you got some sweats on. Please put on some sweats and a t-shirt and just be available, because they should be knocking at your door within the next hour to an hour and a half.
Thank you so much, God. This was not the plan, but it was God's plan. In the name of Jesus, thank you so much. God bless you all.
God bless you. We love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, that's our sister right there. That's our sister. That's our sister. And my thing is this. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you smell like. We are brothers and sisters in this thing. So I want you guys to please just do me that favor. You never know who God is going to use to be a blessing. And at the end of the day, I don't know a whole lot of people. You might not know the world. We might not know the world, but we know somebody that's able to do something. So please do me this big favor. Do me a favor. If you know someone who is affected by this government shutdown, I wasn't playing. When I said last week, if you know someone affected by the shutdown, inbox me, I meant it. Because there's people that are genuinely affected by this. Yeah. This is nothing to play with. This is nothing to play with. It's not cute. There's people really hurting. There's people crying. There's people hungry. $16 worth of food stamps?
And that's what I said to you that's what I said to you at the first show that we had, because right now, January, which will be over probably next week, everybody's okay. Everybody's okay. But then, see, that's financially okay for this month. We're not talking about mentally okay. Because the stress of just thinking that come next month, how am I going to get
my child
stuff?
Yeah.
You know, and especially, and it's sad because and I have to go with where my heart is at, and that's the shelters. Like these females, and that was one of my questions. How are y'all going to make it next month? Me, I'm trying to encourage them. Listen, it's all of y'all in here. Y'all know you don't get much as it is. Y'all may need to come together and be like, listen, I got this much. You buy this. I buy this. You don't got to like someone. But right now is the time to put whatever isms aside and deal with this, because that's what I'm so concerned about, especially like the ones that's down there with this already dealing with postpartum. Mm-hmm. Just had a kid, and you just had a kid, and you're dealing with postpartum on top of not knowing what you're going to eat tomorrow.
Right. They said
this is it.
It was a statistic that came out that said the new number of the demographic number of females committing suicide was from age 30 to 64.
Yes.
And they are also victims of the opioid crisis, overdose. And, people already before this shutdown came into effect was dealing with senses of hopelessness.
Yeah.
So even the more, and as a pastor and a preacher, I think about the scripture that says, righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. And I'm just, praying for our president, praying for the leaders, because it's not only just on the president. It's those that are across the aisle, those that are in Congress, in the Senate, who can do something beyond the president. I mean, think about, the president's not going to be the president forever. But to claim this title, the longest American shutdown.
Isn't that something?
Who wants that? I mean, who wants that as their legacy? And Nancy Pelosi, she don't have anything to lose. She's third in line. She's on her way out after a few years, but she's, it's like they saying, if we give in now, then this president going to do a tension trap. Right.
She's
so,
another one.
But
excuse me.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and take that call.
Caller.
Hi, this is Deshaun Allen. How are you?
Hi, Deshaun. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome. How are you this evening?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm good. No complaints. Blessed.
That is absolutely wonderful to hear. And first of all, I want to just say thank you for taking the time out to call. We're here with Hassan's Kirby, Dr. Carla Cook, Pastor Stephen Deaver, and it has been an excellent show in regard to shutting down the shutdown. It's time to snap back. And so,
wow.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello. Evening.
So I wanted you to tell the listeners and the viewers, those who are on Facebook, those who are tuned in, about what you shared with me in regard to, you said that you know someone who works for the government that is affected by the shutdown.
Yes, she works for IRS.
And she's affected by the shutdown. How?
Yes, they are asked to come to work and not being paid, and it's just rough because you think you have it bad, I guess, until something like this happens, and then nobody was prepared for it, and just the fact that they're expected to still come to work. I mean, how do you expect them to come to work? You need gas money.
Right.
Some of them are going to work and they don't even have lunch money to give their kids to eat lunch during the day at school, but they're expected to show up at work.
Without getting paid.
I have something for you to say to them, and for anybody who's going to work and you're not being paid, you need to stand the hell up. You need to stand the hell up today. Like, see, that's our problem. We're so freaking easy to be walked over. We continue to take it. What they gonna do? You already ain't getting paid. You already not getting paid. Why continue to abuse yourself? And I say that with the people who with domestic violence. I say now that the batterer is gone, who is physically beating you. When you gonna stop beating on yourself?
When you gonna stop beating yourself? Well, here's another thing too.
Unless someone talks to them,
right.
I guess some people just feel like they don't have any other way because they're hoping that the shutdown is going to be over soon and they'll have a job to go back to. But if you haven't been showing up,
Right.
I'm guessing they're thinking they won't have anything to go back to.
Unemployment.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. They're expecting people to go on unemployment, and so that's something that's just unheard of. So the person that you just described, that's on the in the
IRS.
In the IRS, you said, what did you tell me, that she has a new baby?
Yeah, she has a newborn baby. She just recently got married last year, and you know, to be faced with this, like, you got to feed your child, you got to eat. It's a lot, and she's not asking anybody for anything. I just felt led in my heart, because I know when people have IRS questions, I have led people to her to speak to them, and you know, everybody's always come back and said how helpful she was. So I just figured if I could reach out and do anything now that she's in the time of need, that would be the least I could do.
Right. Well, you know what? I just want everyone listening to know that we take this very seriously, because these are lives that are being affected. These are lives that are being affected. And I spoke with Sean earlier, since yesterday, and I was out dealing with family errands, and she's dealing with this situation concerning her friend. And my thing is this: at the end of the day, a friend is a friend, and sometimes friends are family, you know. So I wanted to just say thank you for recommending your girlfriend to us and telling the Make Me Matter radio show about what's going on with her. Myself and Deshaun went ahead and we got in touch with someone who's able to help, and it's just a matter of coordinating, but we're also going to make sure that this family gets 1 month worth of food as well.
And it's so appreciated. It is so appreciated.
We are truly excited, and I wanted to just go ahead, anyone who's able to send her and help her out, her Cash App is $Lady JAE 88. It's Lady LADY JAE 88. Thank you so much for calling. And the reason why I had you call,
you so much.
You're welcome. The reason why I had you call is because sometimes people need to hear this. I don't want them thinking I'm just like trying to have, you know, favoritism or anything like that. No, you need to hear what the background as to what's going on, and then see why we are doing what we're doing. We're not picking and choosing. Let's say I'm going to pick this one today. Well, I'm going to do that with that. No, that's not what we're doing. These are real life situations. People are really hurting, and we're trying to get this taken care of. So thank you.
This is serious. It's not funny. Thank you.
It's not. Thank you so much. Hope you have a good night. I'll be talking to you probably by the weekend.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night. Can I?
Go ahead, Dr. C.
I just want to lift up something that Evelyn was saying, because I do think like this is another wake-up call. This is in some ways an opportunity for us to begin to think different and to begin to shift. And like you were saying, you know, stand up, leave your job, but that's easier said than done. A lot of us need the job. We need income. We have children. We have responsibilities. We have bills. I think something that can come out of this is that we talk a lot about having multiple streams of income. And I think this is an opportunity for us to begin to think about a job. Yes, praise God, I have a job. It meets my, my day-to-day. I can pay my bills. But in addition to that, I can't necessarily rely on this for the long term. And I have something in me. We all have something that we can do, that we can give, whether it's a book, whether it's a side business, whether it's that you're fabulous at doing here, whatever it is, that we all have something. And I think we have to, again, just kind of be mindful in terms of multiple streams of income. And I think the other thing that she was suggesting is that this, and you were kind of talking about, Hassan, pulling together in the shelter. You may not like this one, you may not like that one. And it is an opportunity for us to come together as a community, to get over pettiness. And to, pull our resources together. So out of this, yes, it's challenging. Absolutely. People are hurting. Absolutely. I think, how do we take advantage even of the pain that we're going through so that we can, and not just let this die, not just let this pass and we be having the same conversation in a couple of months. Right. Like really put our the pedal to the metal and do something.
Right. Right. And you are 100% right. And that's our time, guys. It's 7:57. Dr. Carla Cook has her show getting ready to come on. Make sure you stay tuned for Dr. Carla's show on Being Well. She is up next. I'm going to let her come and take this seat, take this mic, and Miss Tiffany Renee is going home. I want to say thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank
Yay!
you.
It was wonderful. And so I want you guys to have a blessed evening. Lord willing, I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And it is going to be on and popping. So God bless you. God keep you. See you at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Thursday, only on the Make Me Matter radio show, which can be found right here on
8 Squad Rebel Radio.
The most talked about internet radio station in the land.
Hey, I know you're still hanging out on the Making Me Matter show. Up next is the On Being Well radio program. Listen, we're talking about haters, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Hey, we were just talking about that for the last hour and a half, right? That there's some haters. Hate will make you do some ridiculous things. Yeah. And so I want you to come on, hang back out with us. I am going to log out of Making Me Matter and just go into the On Being Well radio program. If you're already on the 8 Squad Rebel radio show, you'll get the notification, and when you see On Being Well radio show pop up, I would love to have you come on and join me for this conversation. Hey, tag your fake friends and tag your foes and have them come on in and listen. Haters gonna hate. Up next.